Hello and welcome to today's how-to video for parents. I am Karen Kolp. I am the host of the We Turned Out Okay podcast and the creator of a whole bunch of resources all located at weturnedoutokay.com. And today we are talking about picky eating. We are, in fact, specifically talking about how to handle it if you have a child who literally won't eat anything. I think we all have kids who have done that at some point or other, and some kids do it a lot. And there are a lot of different reasons for it, but the ones I want to focus on today are kind of the low-hanging fruit here. So the things that we can do that are sort of the easiest to do to reframe this and to get on the make progress on our goal of having kids who actually do eat and who enjoy food and enjoy a bunch of different foods. So the first thing that I would say that I usually share about is remember that your young child, remember to honor their eating patterns. So I was a person always growing up, and still today, if you put food in front of me, I'm going to eat it. And that is not true of every child. So my youngest was the exact opposite. There would be entire days where he wouldn't eat anything, like at all. He wouldn't put anything in his mouth. He would just say, "No, I'm not hungry." And if that is your child, that's really what I mean by a child who literally won't eat anything. And what our pediatrician told us to do is view it not just in terms of one day, how did you do with eating today, but in terms of a whole week. So somewhere within that week, your child is going to eat, right? Because they'll just get hungry. But it may not be every day. So try and gauge it like that. And all of this has to do really with taking the pressure off of ourselves and feeling comfortable with sort of the natural rhythms and routines that we are creating in our lives, or that we are seeing in our lives, or both. And so the first to start there is to think, oh, my child doesn't necessarily need to eat every day. He or she just may not be hungry every day. So that's the first thing. The second thing is again, it's about taking the pressure off. A lot of times kids won't eat because they feel a ton of pressure around food and eating. And the best way to handle that is I guess I should, first I will say, how do you know? You might be wondering, how do I know if there is stress around food in my home? If you are entering into negotiations with your kids about taking one more bite of this good and healthy thing before you move on to the what's coming next or whatever, about how many of these healthy things do they need to eat before they move on to something else? There's this real sometimes, and I've done this myself. I am totally guilty of this. When my kids were young, I used to say, I'm going to put a no thank you helping on your plate, and you need to eat that no thank you helping. As in, if somebody said to you, do you want some carrots? No, thank you. Okay, here's your no thank you helping. And what that did was it created a ton of stress in our house and in our family over and around meals and food. Kids didn't want to come to the table because they knew that there would be things there that they didn't want to eat. And so what I'm asking you to do is to trust to the future and help your child be, as my therapist puts it, help your child be in charge of their own digestion. So you don't necessarily have to frame it that way when they're very small, although you might. You can say to them, here's what we have at the table, have several things out that so including some of the things that they might want that they would look forward to, and say, here's what we have at the table tonight. You're in charge of your own digestion. So that means that you can be choosing anything you want from this table. You can't get food from somewhere else, so there's no snacks at this table. It's all what we're eating here. And the goal of meal times isn't so much to make sure that they are eating the healthiest of the options on the table. It's to be making sure that they are sitting comfortably, enjoying meal times, because that is what will get them into eating things, making different and new food choices. If there's something that they can be secure with, and then there's also things that they can be trying if they want to, that is cool. And that is how we take the pressure off. We make it less about the actual food that they're putting in their mouths and more about the general atmosphere at the table. And then the other, I've got a couple of other ways. One is you should listen to episode 278 of the We Turned Out Okay podcast. It is all about, what I do is I basically answer a listener question. She wrote in with a bunch of questions. I believe the sentence, "my child literally won't eat anything," comes from her, or it's something very close to that. I mean, she's like, my child doesn't want to eat. She refuses all food. She says it's yucky. She eats better at daycare. And so we get into some other factors here, but I actually share 4 factors in that episode that you might find really useful. That is located at WeTurnedOutOK.com/278. It's very possible that you are watching this from those show notes at episode 278 because I embed this video in those show notes. So that could be a thing. And the other thing you can do is you can grab, I have just created a free guide. It's a quick video and checklist so that you can read these, within an hour, watch the video, read the checklist, and then you'll know how to handle dinner tonight. And that is located at WeTurnedOutOK.com/picky. And that's how you can sign up for that free guide. So do those things. Thank you so much for watching today. If you liked this video, please just hit the like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe so that you never miss a how-to video for parents. Cheers. Thank you so much. I'm Karen Kolp, and I will see you next week. Bye.